Help me ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody's doing okay. I hope the lighting's okay. It's a really weird day. So I had to close the blinds because the sun was just coming in and I tried to record, it was saturating everything. So I closed the blind, but now clouds have rolled in and it's gone really dark. So I'm just hoping that there's enough light here. So, as you'll have seen from the title, this video is about the updated Three Trees Tarot decks. And these are prototype decks of what will be coming later in the year. But just before I start that, I just wanted to just say a couple of things. Firstly, thank you to everybody who sent me advice and messages about the Dupuytren's disease. I found them really useful, and somebody even suggested getting some oil, which I picked up today from a health shop, and yeah, it's I've been using it to massage. I have to massage my hands 3 times a day now. But yeah, thank you to everybody that said, you know, I'm affected by this as well, or they know somebody and given some tips and advice. So thank you for that. Also, the lovely Mary from Gently Living Out Loud left me a message saying, when I showed the Betwixt York Ghost that came yesterday, she said, I'd love to see your York Ghost collection if you have time. And I said, yeah, next time I do a video, I was waiting for one more to arrive today. I will show you. So we'll just cut away now quickly, just for those of you who are interested in seeing them. And I'll show you the ghosts that I've got so far. Okay, so here we go. This is the collection. So it's just next to me here on, these are the books that I've got to read. This is where I do my card readings and live videos from this little device here. So these are just at the side of me. You'll probably see them on a couple of catchment cards. But yeah, so there's not a whole amount, a lot, although you may be saying, well, how many do you actually need, Simon? And I ask myself that sometimes, but they're fun. Some are kind of real collector's items and will have like a stamp underneath. They all come with a stamp on the back, which is their kind of, because these have been ripped off, as everything is, sadly. But we'll start with the top row. These are all phantoms. So a phantom is a York ghost, I'm trying to get it in the light, there we go, that has the tears. And they tend to have black eyes, unless it's a black phantom, and they'll have white eyes, as you can see at the end there. And then we've got boos. Boos are the little ghosts. These are the normal size. Again, with anything, to buy them, they're about £18, so they're not too expensive. But once they kind of, I nearly said out of print, once they're limited edition for some of them, and then they've gone, they fetch hundreds, which is crazy on things like eBay. So for my boos, I've got a black and a white, and also in the adult ghost, the full ghost. This is the one that I showed yesterday. Someone said it looks green, but it is actually like a banana yellow. And this is Betwixt. And then this phantom is exclusive to the Dispensary, which is one of their shops in York. You can only get it in that one, not in the main shop. This was a auction one you had to kind of bid on, and Sandra bid for me on that because I was at work. And then just some other ones that I really like. This is Frozen Charlotte. This is the other Emily that I showed recently. This one came today. This is the most recent one, which I bought secondhand. It has a glaze on this one, so most are kind of matte, but this one, I really liked it. I don't like ones with a lot of colour because I want them to kind of look ghosty. This is the first ever one, which I'm pleased this was my first ever one because it's just pure white. Hoping it picks up properly on camera, but that reminds me of A Ghost Story, one of my favourite films. I love it, where he just walks around wearing a sheet. It's not a comedy either. And then the others here are the ones I showed recently when I came back from York. This is quite unusual because it's a ghost, a black ghost with red eyes. Hopefully that's picking up. And then a couple of others that I liked. So that's the ghost collection. Okay, so on with the show. So I have received a package. It was sent by Stephanie Burrows, who is one half of Three Trees Tarot, along with Adam Oles, who is the artist, to say that they are kind of renewing, revamping, refreshing, however you want to class it, or giving a new lease of life to their decks, of which I'm very fortunate enough to have all of them. And you'll have heard me say many times before that, you know, I'm kind of done with animal themed decks, with the exception, I always add in, of the decks by Three Trees Tarot, because these are so much more than just animal themed decks. They are incredible pieces of art, but also they give you so much depth in a reading. They really are beautiful decks to work with. Okay, sorry about that. My phone keeps switching off. I've put it on to Do Not Disturb. It's when somebody is trying to ring me, which happens a lot. It keeps cutting out, and if I don't check, I'll sit here and I'll think I'm recording when I'm not. So you probably won't even notice the interruptions if I manage to edit this well. So yeah, as I mentioned, you know, I love their decks. It started with the Oak, Ash and Thorn. It was just gorgeous. I mean, I love Heartwood as well, but I think this one will always possibly be my favourite. Maybe it's because it's the first, I don't know, but just wonderful. The quality of their cards, these are the little kind of, you get a card for each of the suits, and one for the majors giving you the keywords and things like that. These are the backs. I believe the backs is one of the things that is changing. I will give an update because I've had the newsletter in advance of it going out later this week. And then we had Smoke, Ash and Embers, so Oak, Ash and Thorn, and then Smoke, Ash and Embers. This one I don't have a bag for, but this is the dragon themed deck, and again, gorgeous. Now, I'm not somebody that's into dragons per se, but I mean, we've got baby cute dragons, come on, it's just beautiful, and it's in their style and just wonderful. And then we had the Heartwood, which is from, was it Thistledown? Oh my gosh, my brain has gone to mush. Love this. It's around an abandoned cottage in the middle of the woods, and nature's reclaimed it, and we've got animals and insects and all sorts living in this abandoned old cottage, and I just think it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I will read you the extract from the newsletter in relation to reprinting news. So the Winding is something that's coming out next year, which is the cute little spider base deck, which I'm really looking forward to. So it says, while the Winding won't be ready this year, we do have some exciting plans to release reprints of Oak, Ash and Thorn, Smoke, Ash and Embers, and Thistledown. And since they need restocking at around the same time, we're giving them a bit of a facelift. So, because Oak, Ash and Thorn, Smoke, Ash and Embers, and Thistledown all belong to the same world, I wanted to make them feel like a more cohesive set, while still keeping their individual charm. So here's what's changing and why. The font. Originally, let's get a deck out just so we can have a look. I might bring the camera down actually. Okay, so just so we know what we're talking about here, let's take one out. Oh, we would get the beautiful Four of Pentacles. So let's pop that there. So originally I chose different fonts to match each deck's individual personality, but looking back on things, I wish I'd used the same across all three. So for better readability and consistency, I've updated the fonts to LTC Gaudi Old Style, a classic typeface with a literary, slightly organic feel that suits these decks beautifully. And that's a sample there of the font. Borders and text notches. To match Oak Ash and Thorn and Smoke Ash and Embers, I've decided to add borders to Thistledown as well. So if you remember from Thistledown, there aren't any borders. I know this might seem like an unexpected choice for a previously borderless deck, but after much thought, we truly feel it helps tie the collection together beautifully. Don't worry, Heartwood will remain borderless, and I have plans to create a coordinating borderless Oracle deck for it. So that's some more exciting news. Additionally, all three decks will have consistent text notches and small areas of white space where the card titles sit. This not only improves readability, but also helps create a more unified design across the set while keeping each deck's unique personality intact. Major Arcana numbers. The numbers will no longer be located at the top of the Major Arcana. So let's grab a Major Arcana so we know. It'll probably take me here just to find the Major Arcana now. Oh, here we go. Here's the Fool. I happened to find the Fool. So you'll see there is a number at the top. And we'll look at these decks. I have got prototypes to show you. So the numbers will no longer be located at the top of the Major Arcana cards. We've moved them to the bottom to keep the artwork uninterrupted. We hope this small change enhances your experience, making it easier to immerse yourself in the worlds we create without distractions. The Hanged Man, Hanged Squirrel. We've decided to rename the Hanged Man of Oak Ash and Thorn and Hanged Squirrel from Smoke Ash and Embers to the Hanged One. Okay. Card backs. All three decks are getting stunning new card backs, and by popular request, they'll be reversible. So as you can see at the moment, with what's happening in the center of these cards, they're not reversible. Guide cards. We've refined the design of the guide cards to create a more cohesive experience. Each set will now feature the same beautifully illustrated imagery, ensuring consistency across all decks. Thoughtfully crafted to complement the artwork you already love, these guide cards provide both a visually seamless look while providing the quick guidance you need. And then the certificates of authenticity, so all of the decks, and I think that's really important because we know that these decks have been pirated, but all of these decks come with a certificate of authenticity, and they're getting a fresh new look as well. And it says, for the first time since our Kickstarter campaign, the new edition Oak Ash and Thorn decks will include them as well. Each certificate of authenticity will feature a foil stamped star, a special detail to confirm authenticity. I think that's a really, really good idea. This small but important addition ensures that your deck is an official edition. A lot of thoughts went into this. Boxes, Oak Ash and Thorn and Smoke Ash and Embers will now come in beautiful two-part boxes. So currently they come in these, and these tuck boxes are beautiful and embossed. But I guess nobody likes a tuck box. I don't mind a tuck box if it's done well, and these have always been done well.
So they're going to be now in 2-piece boxes made up of 2 parts. The base will be made from sturdy corrugated cardboard that feels protective and reliable, while the lid will be made from eco-friendly colour plan paper. Each box will feature a charming woodland themed letterpress design printed with vegetable based inks. Instead of a ribbon to lift the cards out of the tray, a small hole in the base allows you to easily push them out for easy access. That's novel, I've not seen that before. Plus, the glue-free construction has several ecological benefits, making it more sustainable packaging choice. And it says, please note the thistledown will remain in a tuck box, as will future Oracle and mini decks, though the design is getting a fresh new look. And then it says, Oak Ash and Thorn. So certain cards are being retired. Oak Ash and Thorn, the Possibilities card. Smoke Ash and Embers, the extra card from the first printing. 2 Sleeping Dragons. And 1 from Ten of Swords, the Gloria version. Thistledown, the extra art card from the first printing, the Thistle. Yeah, and that's basically everything. There will be a small increase just because of obviously cost of living and everything else going up, but there will be a decrease in shipping costs. So, and that's been done with a rep at Royal Mail. They can reduce shipping costs, so that's good. So, without further ado, I think we will take a look. Put them to one side so we know what we've got. Let's take a look at the prototypes. Where have I just popped the there it is. Looking for my little trusty penknife to cut it open. It would help if I got it the right way around and not sliced off my finger. Okay. Oh my gosh, open here. Why didn't I just do that? I'm going to do it off camera because I know I'm going to knock the camera if I continue to. Gosh, this is really tough. Here we go. We are in. So we've got a little, a little card here. We've got some little envelopes. Gosh, look at all this. We've got 1, 2. These little, what do we call these things? You can melt them in water, which I always do, and just let them go down the plug hole. But they've gone everywhere, all over the floor. Move them. I love as well the way these are wrapped. I know these are just the prototypes, but look at that. It is worth pointing out as well, with the prototype decks, they do have sharp corners, but when it comes to the actual deck, as always, the corners will be rounded like so. So I'm just going to pop them there for a second. Let's have a look at this, a little card that says, a message from your friendly neighbourhood dragon. There's some paperwork tucked inside your shipping box. Okay, that must mean these, because I don't think there's anything else inside the box. So we've got this little card, 3 trees, which is really nice. I'm going to pop that just there in front. I've got some postcards in the original ones, and in my bathroom I've got a frame with 3 sections to put photographs in, and I put them in, and I love them. So we've got, oh, look at this. So this is an example of the backs, because I think on the prototypes they're just plain backs. So let's get them out. This is the dragon back. So as you can see, they are reversible. As you said, they've changed them so that they're reversible. Let's grab a dragon card just so we can take a look. That was the original design, and that's the new design. Pop that in there. And then I've got to make sure I know which is which. Oh, look at that. I think, now then, I'm not sure which. Was that the old one? In which case, where are we? I think that is replacing that one. Looking at the design there. Could be wrong, could be wrong. And then this one, I'm assuming, is what's replacing that one. That seems about right. But you get the idea of the backs. I'm just assuming that, just going on the pictures on the front. It's not written to say, but I like these, and there are, you know, they said they took feedback on the backs and people wanted reversible images, so they've been able to do that. They've listened, and yeah. All right, so let's have a look at what we've got. Oh, look how beautifully these, it's a crying shame to open them. They're wrapped so well. Okay, I'm going to open them off camera because this might take me a minute. Okay, so I just opened them and I thought, well, actually these have got the backs on, so I know exactly what they are. And then I thought, oh, I seem to remember a message from Stephanie about the extra. So they weren't happy with the print quality of the backs. So they've sharpened them up a little bit. I mean, for me, they look great, but they said that actually the print quality wasn't great, so they've redone them. So these little extra envelopes are to show the difference and what the backs will look like. I mean, for me, it's quite subtle, but my eyesight isn't the best anyway. I just think this shows, you know, how conscientious Stephanie and Adam are. Yeah, so we know now what backs are, because we've got Oak, Ash and Thorn. You can always tell that from the original there. And then we have Smoke, Ash and Embers with the dragon backs, obviously. I've got that one upside down. Gosh. As you can see there. And then we have the Thistledown, which hopefully I've got that the right way around. I have such a beautiful, beautiful oracle deck. I always got berated because I said, oh, that reminds me of my children's book, Ned the Lonely Donkey. And they're like, it's a horse, Simon. It's not a donkey. Yeah, so then we have Thistledown. I was calling it Heartwood earlier. That's the tarot deck. Okay, so we'll just show a few from each so you can see them. That's the thank you card. They're just beautiful. And you know, to say these are prototype decks, the quality of them is just as stunning, because I'm really lucky, because even though I do this, Stephanie still sends me the finished product as well. And I have given away a couple of prototype decks before, But yeah, so you can see the change here with the new font. That we'll look at the Emperor from this deck as well, just so we can see that they're aligned now, because as Stephanie said, they're part of the same universe, so the fonts are the same. Yeah, so it's such a beautiful deck. Every time I get these decks out, I look at them, I mean, look at that. So if you did miss out on getting these decks previously, they are coming back. I believe pre-orders are taking place tomorrow on Friday, which is wonderful. I'll just show the mages. Look at that for the tower. I think as well, if I remember rightly, when this deck came out a few years ago and I got the prototype from Stephanie, and we were going back for maybe even 5 years. And when did I meet Stephanie? I think I met her in 2021 and the deck was already out then. This deck anyway. I went with a corner around her and cornered them, and then she sent me the actual one. So I was like, yeah, I didn't need to do that. And I don't mind corners anyway. That's how decks used to come, isn't it? So that's a Oak-Ashen Thorn. These are the new style cards, very neat. In fact, I really like them. They're a lot neater. So here is, if you haven't seen it, our Smoke, Ash and Embers. I love that Hermit card. So beautiful. I'm saying wow, it's like the first time I've seen it, but if I'm honest, I probably use this deck the least. I think it's beautiful, but if I still tend to get drawn to Oak-Ashen Thorn and the Thistledown Oracle. Anyway, that's the majors on that. Just look at the quality. Oh. And these are just prototypes. And then we have the Thistledown Oracle. So, as you mentioned, these all belong to the same universe, because it's the Thistledown wood where Oak-Ashen Embers, the Smoke-Ashen Thorn. No, sorry. Oak-Ashen Thorn, Smoke-Ashen Embers. That didn't sound right. Oh, little cutesy spider gives you a hint at what's coming. Whereas the one I mentioned earlier, set taking place in the abandoned cottage, is of a different universe. But I never realised that. For me, they were all happening in this wood. Ah, there's the sticker off the pack, of course. Isn't it just adorable? So, there you have it. Oak-Ashen Thorn, Smoke-Ashen Embers, Thistledown Oracle, all coming back with a facelift, and you'll be able to pre-order tomorrow. Let me just check that. Yeah, so everybody will get the email newsletter that I shared earlier with information tomorrow. So either look out for it if you're already signed up to Three Trees Tarot. If not, there will be a link in the description for you to sign up and find out about these decks if that's something that you're interested in. Thank you for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.